data. I want to understand which assets are available on which chain ever, and at which price are these assets available. On top of that, I need to understand if I want to get from A to B, what are the potential routes? So smart auto routing, all of that is still on data level, right? Then you would ultimately end up with scenarios in which you would have to swap an asset so that you can bridge and then swap again. So this is complex, and it implies the user would have to sign 3 transactions. So instead of having to do that, Li.Fi built a multi-chain transaction rail. This rail is a set of smart contracts that lives on all these chains and allows us to combine a variety of transactions into one. So we can swap, bridge, swap with the one transaction. Instead of sending a transaction to a bridge directly, it goes to our smart contract, and then the smart contract sends it to the bridge, and the bridge sends it back to our smart contract, and then it gets back to the user. These kinds of things, the ability to send meta information alongside that, unpack that, make sense of it, do that in a as gas efficient way as possible. That has been asked for the past few years. Now we are doing 2 new things. The one thing is, well, we have been able to swap, bridge, swap, and we have also been able to leverage the idea of calling any smart contract at the end of this complex transaction. But here it already becomes difficult, right? The idea of calling any smart contract at the end of like such a transaction, maybe an Aave deposit or a Morpho deposit or maybe Pendle or Hyperliquid, whatever. This is obviously hard to scale. If you think about it, all these protocols have different smart contracts, so it's really hard to abstract that, right? We offered that, and with many enterprise clients, we went down the road of writing custom smart contract integrations for all of these things. It was just not that scalable. So over the past 2 years, we have developed a virtual machine, and that virtual machine really expresses a domain-specific language in TypeScript. So you can type whole user journeys of check my wallet balance. If big enough, then if bigger than $1,000, take $1,000, swap it into X, and then deposit as collateral into Aave. Take out a loan as much as possible, or just 75% of that, and then take this further to swap it into something else. Right? These kind of strategies, multi-chain, are now able to be. We can now express that in TypeScript, and we are getting executable call data out of that virtual machine. Not only that, it has its own transaction simulator, which is super fast and cheap. So we have actually call data we can rely on, and this allows us to make multi-chain journeys much more scalable. And this is very unique. We have really put in a lot of R&D into all of this, and we are rolling this out with big clients like Alipay now. And that's great. This is one thing. Another thing we have been doing is, so instead of just aggregating, because aggregation is also hard to scale, we now are pairing this with an open solver marketplace. It's essentially an intent system. It takes the intent and then it auctionizes it across a network of solvers. I don't really believe that the market is ripe for like very decentralized, massive solver systems yet, because there are not enough solvers and it's already profitable to run them. And the space is more fragmented than solvers could cater to them in an economic way. So aggregation is still the key solution for everything. But it allows us to plug in third-party liquidity. It allows all these people that tokenize assets to bring their own liquidity and market make it themselves. And we have all the distribution power. So in a sense, we are the best solution for anyone who tokenizes assets to actually find distribution and find their access into wallets of any kind, from a Ledger to a Trezor to a Robinhood to a MetaMask to a Phantom, right? Again, here, Li.Fi is really the middleman that brings these two sides together, and they can actually accelerate the adoption of tokenized assets. And that's something we are super bullish on, and what we're heavily investing in as a company right now.